Hello, hi, my name is Sid. I'm from Sid's Wood Shack. This is behind me. It's where I do my wood crafting, woodworking, whatever else I like to fiddle around with. If you're a young person between the ages of, let's say 10, maybe 16, and you have never started a woodcraft project, I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very easy. I'll show you how to set up a wood shop as a young person, maybe some projects that you can do that are very inexpensive, and what basic tools you'll need to get the ball rolling. So come on into my workshop and let's explore a little bit, okay? Now if I was going to put together a wood shop, let's say I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 20, 21 years old, I've never done it, I would try to make sure I had plenty of decent hammers. That's a must. In fact, when dealing with hammers, I usually use my safety glasses. That's always good. And let me give you an advice of what type of hammers you ought to have in a workshop. All these hammers I've used way more than once. Some are very old, but I'll keep using them. And one hammer I like quite a bit is my rubber mallet. This rubber mallet is good for gentle touches. That I just barely want to hit it just a little bit to get things lined up. This is not for smashing down on a nail. It'll ruin the tip of it. Again, this is very old, but just barely tip a little bit. Get it ready for maybe putting in a screw or doing something similar like that. So rubber mallet, go to some dollar store. They have a section for tools, and you could probably buy something like this, or maybe a smaller one, smaller type, for about $1. That's pretty handy. Now going to the bigger nails, or hammers rather, you have this claw hammer. This is a big hammer used for large nails. The very tip of the hammer has grooves on it so it doesn't slip. So again, you're going to get your fingers back, and you can really go to town on this. And the way to hammer a nail is not to grip it way up here. Pull your hand toward the back of the hammer. Get some leverage and come down on it. That's a claw hammer. Now, if I want to do something kind of small, here's a little brad right here. I might want to grab another type of hammer, just a small hammer. This is a smooth surface here. And let me show you something you should never do. This was done in a workshop one time. I saw it, and one man had a problem, one student at school had a problem, because part of this chipped off and hit his eye. He took two hammers and he hit the tips of them like this. And part of the front here broke, flew out, and hit a student in the eye. So don't ever do that. These are tools, they're not play toys. So you have other hammers here. Here's a small hammer for maybe tacks. You can even use it on that brad I just put in. If you want to get this out, you want to use a claw hammer. You don't want to use this. That'll probably break the front of this. You could probably use the other ones, but this has a big claw on the back, big claw hammer for pulling out large nails even. And in my shop, I have other hammers. That way if I have friends over to do woodworking, I've got extra tools. So always put together a vast array of good equipment, because your friends will want to come over. Maybe you got a relative, maybe your dad or brother or sister. Everybody wants to work on something because it's fun, and you can make nice projects for very inexpensive. This hammer here is my favorite. It's a Sears Roebuck hammer I bought over 30 years ago. It's got a fiberglass handle. It's going to give me many, many years use, and I like this hammer quite a bit. Another favorite of mine is this one here, but this is a hammer I will never use. It's made by Pittsburgh Tool Company. It's 16 ounce. Some of these are heavier. All these do have ounces. I can't tell what some of these are. I'm sorry. But this is a 16 ounce hammer. My son bought it for me, and my son is a pretty cool fella. He's a nurse practitioner down in St. Lucie, Florida. Graduated from UNC a couple years ago, several years ago in fact, and he bought this for me. And it's got an engraving that said, "Thank you for helping me build my life." So that I will never use this. It's more of a keepsake, and I'll keep this in my shop on a on a hanger and just look at it and enjoy knowing I got it from him. Now, the greatest way to build a project is have good hammers, but what about your life? What about your marriage and your hopes for the future and your destiny? How are you building that? Well, the Bible tells me that even the Bible declares that the Word of God is a hammer. Now, what does a hammer do? It puts together loose things. And life is loose, it's chaotic, it's a struggle. So go to the Word of God, look up verses, read the Gospels, read Genesis, read different portions. I would start with the Gospel of Mark and maybe John, and study and read about the person of Jesus Christ. And let Him help loosen or tighten your loose life if you have a problem. Remember, it says here, thank you for helping me build my life. And that could be a thank you prayer to God, because God can do that for you today. Do you know that? Think of yourself as a workshop, and God is the divine carpenter, and He wants to build in you something great and wonderful. Why not let Him do it today? God bless you. Thank you for joining me in this short presentation.